the images of those whom we are honoring today. Good morning. My name is David Curtin, and I do welcome you to the 88th annual Remembrance Day service in Saskatoon. And we welcome viewers from Saskatoon, Moose Jaw, Swift Current, and Prince Albert to the Shaw Spotlight presentation of the 88th annual Remembrance Day ceremony in Saskatoon. And I'm stressing that it is the 88th annual Remembrance Day service in Saskatoon because this is also the 80th anniversary of the beginning of the Second World War. In other words, Remembrance Day services began before the Second World War, at least in Saskatoon and in many communities across Saskatchewan. And of course, we will be recognizing many heroes today. What the organizing committee of this Remembrance Day service has decided for this year's honors to be bestowed upon people. It is being bestowed upon those whose military service was yesterday, today, or tomorrow. And to that end, there are going to be three different generations of people taking the honors at the end of the service today. And they include Mrs. Ruth Bond Martinson, who is a veteran of Women's Royal Service. She will be representing yesterday in this theme. Mrs. Bond Martinson is a veteran of the Second World War. She served in the Women's Royal Canadian Naval Service, and for more than 35 years she's been actively involved in the Maple Leaf Unit. If you don't know what the Maple Leaf Unit is, it's the only female veterans group within Canada. Representing today's military service will be Lieutenant Douglas Fraser of the Navy, Canadian Armed Forces member of HMCS Unicorn. Lieutenant Fraser was born in Devon, Alberta, joined the Canadian Armed Forces in 2009 through the Regular Officer Training Program. He has gone on, though, to be posted to HMCS Vancouver, where he sailed for a variety of workups programs, culminating in Op Carib and South Ploy, a number of campaigns that he was involved in. And Lieutenant Douglas Fraser represents today. Representing tomorrow will be a cadet. Chief Petty Officer Second Class David Huang, a Sea Cadet who immigrated here from the country of Taiwan in grade 4 and has stayed here ever since. He attended Brevard Park Elementary School in Saskatoon and has also actively participated in the Navy League Cadet Corps Royal Canadian Sea Cadets Corps 45, Jarvis Bay, and has been there for 5 years. Right now he attends Walter Murray Collegiate in Saskatoon and has been credited with a high honor student for 3 years in a row. As I said, this is the 88th anniversary of the Remembrance Day service in Saskatoon. And as always, the music is going to be so important. And so we thank Peter England, who is our music coordinator today. The Salvation Army Band, led by Vienna Sawatsky. The Saskatoon Community Wind Ensemble, led by Peter England. The Saskatoon Community Concert Band, led by Doug Gilmore. The Saskatoon Chamber Singers, James Hahn is the leader there. This is, every year, different facets of our military command the parade. And this year it is the Navy that has taken command of the parade. And on behalf of the Navy, when we get into the act of remembrance, you will see a lot of Padre Lieutenant Nancy Buttinger, who is the chaplain of HMCS Unicorn, and she will be leading the act of remembrance today. Many dignitaries coming in today. I just saw the Reeve of the RM of Corman Park, who came in, and she is sporting, well, quite frankly, a pretty amazing coat. The Reeve, of course, is Judy Harwood, and she is wearing her father's army jacket from World War II. Very interesting. You'll see her when we lay the wreaths a little later on. Our Lieutenant Governor is also going to be here this year, Russ Marasti. Lieutenant Governor Morasti, this will be his first Remembrance Day ceremony as Lieutenant Governor. And as usual, what happens is the Lieutenant Governor will go back and forth between the two big Remembrance Day services in Saskatchewan, between Saskatoon and Regina. And so a little later on, we will see the Lieutenant Governor, Russ Morasti, marched on with a piper. That will be coming up in the ceremony today as well. I do want to mention that there is a committee probably of 20 to 30 people who belong to the various Legion branches in Saskatoon, the Army Navy veterans, the Anavets in Saskatoon as well, and a few other service organizations who work throughout the year to bring this service to Saskatoon, a service that has been called the largest indoor service in Canada for many, many years now. And as I look around the SaskTel Center at this point, I see that we were probably going to make that record again today. The bottom bowl of the facility is getting pretty full as we stand here right now, and many people on the top level as well who are going to be looking down. You can see right now the parade floor pretty much empty except for the dignitaries who are seated on the left portion of your screen, and then down at the other end of that parade floor, the musicians of the various music organizations. But that floor is going to be filled with many hundreds of service members. In just a few moments' time, the Cenotaph Guard under Master Seaman Robin Lowe will be the first to come out this morning. And then it'll be Parade Chief Petty Officer Warren Noble who will take over. He's the coxswain of HMCS Unicorn. And he will be calling for the markers in just a few moments' time as well, as we get set soon for the march on of this amazing ceremony. Something very interesting that's going to happen after the ceremony today, well, as always, the North Saskatchewan Regiment Pipes and Drums, they always play a concert in the middle of that parade floor at the end of the service, and there are many people who just stand around, circle the North Saskatchewan Regiment Pipes and Drums to enjoy that concert. But there will be a number of people who will probably want to go outside today right after the service, because they are going to witness a flyby by a 1942 Tiger Moth airplane, courtesy of the Saskatchewan Aviation Museum. And it's wonderful to see the Saskatchewan Aviation Museum come into play here with the Remembrance Day service. So I suspect that there will be a number of people who are going to want to leave the facility as soon as the service is over, so that they can witness that very special flyby that is going to be happening. Just some of the highlights to understand as we get ready for the march on. We will, of course, see the North Saskatchewan Regiment Pipes and Drums. We will also be witnessing many others. The new Guard will be coming on, and of course the Old Guard and the Veteran Flag Party. And there's some amazing marching that goes around. There's some precision marching that goes when that happens as well. As I said, the largest indoor service here in Saskatoon. It has always gathered between 8,000 and 10,000 people. Not always dependent upon the weather, of course, since this is an indoor service. And it is one of a number of services that is happening in Saskatoon today. There are a number of veterans who hold a very, I would consider it a private service, but it isn't like the public is not welcome, but it isn't one that is normally advertised through public channels. And that happens at City Hall, at the actual cairn at City Hall in Saskatoon. And there is another service at the University of Saskatchewan, and of course in Montgomery Park neighborhood, a neighborhood whose streets are named after many of the World War I and World War II campaigns. All right, coming out onto the parade floor now is the Cenotaph Guard, led by Master Seaman Robin Lowe of Saskatoon. This is Master Seaman Robin Lowe's first time as a Cenotaph Guard commander. He joined the Royal Canadian Navy in November of 2009. He's a naval communicator with HMCS Unicorn. The Navy representative at the Cenotaph is a leading seaman Oliver Childs, who was born in Liverpool, England, but joined the Royal Canadian Navy in 2017 at HMCS Unicorn as a supply technician. The Army representative is Master Corporal John Langan. He was born in Regina, joined the North Saskatchewan Regiment as an infantryman. He is a weapon detachment IC. This is his third parade as a Cenotaph Guard, and his first in Saskatoon. And the representative of the Air Force is Corporal Christopher Burkert, who was born in Winnipeg, and he joined the Royal Canadian Air Force in October of 2015, and as an aerospace technician, and is now posted to the detachment in Dundurn. He's Corporal Burkett's third parade, by the way, as a Cenotaph Guard, but his first in Saskatchewan. And representing the Royal Canadian Mounted Police is Constable Kelsey Trott, who was born in Manitoba but joined the RCMP in 2016. He was originally posted to Cutknife, Saskatchewan, and now is posted to the Saskatoon detachment. That happened in October of 2018. This is his first parade as a Cenotaph Guard. And as you get an opportunity a little later on, you'll see the Cenotaph Guards, the heads bowed low, the rifles standing at the ready as they guard the Cenotaph throughout this service. And now, as we are ready for the parade, we are going to turn it over to Steve Shannon, who will be telling you and the people in our facility here today what is happening as the parade begins.
Our parade chief, Chief Petty Officer Warren Noble, Coxswain Unicorn, will be calling for the markers.
"2019 Remembrance Day Parade. Markers."
The markers that you see marching out onto the parade floor right now, they are the ones who will go to various spots on that parade floor. And that will give the others the idea of where they must end up at the end of their march as well. And that is the reason for the markers.
Number 1, stand fast. Markers. Take post. Number 1, stand fast. Remainder, about, turn. Markers, steady. "2019 Remembrance Day Parade. Cadets and service groups, fall in."
The markers are in place, and Parade Chief Warren Noble is now called for the cadets and service group to be marched on, led by the Saskatoon Tri-Services Cadet Band. H.M. Weir Navy League.
Navy League, move up.
Also represented, cadets from the North Saskatchewan Regiment. This group is followed by Saskatoon and District Masons and the Freemasons, Saskatoon Shriners,
Remembrance Parade first responders, fall in.
I can tell you that the organizers are always so pleased to see the turnout of the youth here at the Remembrance Day service. There are many, many hundreds who are not just on the
those
parade
that are being
floor,
marched
but also
on and have marched on. 45 Jarvis Bay Royal Canadian Sea Cadet Corps, 328 Royal Canadian Army Medical Cadet Corps, 2293 North Saskatchewan Regiment Army Cadet Corps, number 3071 North Saskatchewan Regiment Army Cadet Corps, and 107 Spitfire Royal Canadian Air Cadets. On our third row, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Federal Correctional Services, Provincial Correctional Services, members of our Saskatoon City Police Service, Saskatoon Fire Department, and Menifee Health Services West.
Touch right. Fire and Emergency Services, touch right. Well, 2019 Remembrance Day Parade, New Guard, fall in. New Guard, on the left, march.
Chief Petty Officer Warren Noble has now called for the New Guard to be marched on. The New Guard is being led by the Saskatoon Tri-Services Cadet Band, HMCS Unicorn, followed by the North Saskatchewan Regiment and 38th Service Battalion and 16 Field Ambulance. Parade Chief Noble is now turning the parade over to Deputy Parade Commander, Lieutenant Commander Mike Sue, Executive Officer of HMCS Unicorn, who will fall in the officers.
Remembrance Day Parade, step ass, east. Parade on 10, shut. Officers fall in.
The officers of the various units now marching out onto the parade floor.
Parade on 10, shut.
Lieutenant Commander Mike Sue will now turn the parade over to Parade Commander, Commander Gary Greger, Commanding Officer of HMCS Unicorn, who will march on the Old Guard.
Parade! Stand up! Ace! Parade! On 10! Jump! March on! The Old Guard! Old Guard! On the left!
The North Saskatchewan Regiment Pipes and Drums, under the direction of Pipe Major Craig Shirley, has been now ordered to march on the Old Guard.
The Old Guard! Salute!
As the crowd gets to its feet, as the Old Guard is being marched on by the North Saskatchewan Pipes and Drums. Raucous applause throughout the building.
The Veteran Flag Party, veterans who have served our country in Afghanistan, veterans, Korean veterans, and the RCMP Old Guard.
the appreciation from the people of Saskatoon and area for the old guard. Those veterans who have served. I believe there is a veteran down there who is still from the Second World War, but also, of course, the Korean War and Afghanistan.
Flag party! March on the flags!
Commander Gregor has just called for the flag party, for the flags to be marched on.
Parade! To the flags! Salute!
This is where we get to witness a nice piece of precision marching as the flags are being marched on. Commander Gary Gregor is the parade commander for the flag party.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the arrival of His Honor Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, Russ Morasti, being piped in by Piper Brad Fenty.
Shoulder! Up!
The parade commander will now turn the parade over to Padre Nancy Buttiger. We will then follow the Remembrance Day service program.
So please remain standing for the national anthem. Welcome. Bienvenue. Dancing. As we gathered here today, we acknowledge we are on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the Indigenous peoples and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationships with one another. I am Padre Nancy Buttinger, and it is my honor and privilege to welcome you all here to this very space. Your Honor, Res Morasti, Mr. Brad Redekop, Senator David Tkachuk, Mr. Ken Cheveldayoff, Your Worship, Charlie Clark, all veterans, all serving members of the Canadian Armed Forces, spiritual leaders, cadets, Scouts Canada, RCMP, police officers, correction officers, first responders, musicians, announcers, all of you who have decided to come and join us today, thank you for joining us. We are in a growing city, a city of many faiths, a city of many beliefs. This diversity of belief is reflected across our Canadian population and in the members of our Canadian Armed Forces. For some, these beliefs may be shaped in prayer, meditation, silent reflection. In this service, please enjoy the freedom to choose any form of that as you require, silent prayer, reflection, or meditation. On this day that we've gathered together, we honor those who served and those who died in order that we in Canada might live in this freedom. Let us also be mindful and pray for peace among all nations, among all people and peoples. Let us be aware that this is a very active peace, the kind of active peace that we each need to work on within ourselves and within our communities. First on our program, we have a traditional hymn. It was selected to recognize the three elements: air, army, and navy. Feel free to sing along with us as the Salvation Army Band leads us in God of our Fathers. It is now my privilege to help recognize the veterans and serving Canadian Armed Forces members who are here today. So looking out at our parade square, we see many who have formed up and are responding to commands. And there are others that are here too in the stands. Today, in addition, I'd like to acknowledge spouses, partners, primary supporters, and families. So I wish now to invite all veterans, all military members, their significant others, and families to please stand to be acknowledged or wave if standing is not possible.
Very nice touch by Nancy Buttinger, the Padre, to include the families in that recognition this year, knowing that all members of the family are affected.
We thank you for who you are, all that you've done, and all the ways you provide support. I now invite soloist Miss Tanis Sherstobitov to sing Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Ready, okay, gun.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
In a few moments, we shall share in the act of remembrance. After we hear the trumpet call, the last post, this observation of silence we have together, in which we remember those who gave their lives so that we might live in this freedom and peace. We remember those who fell in 2 world wars, in Korea, in Afghanistan, and during peacekeeping roles, and various deployments. But let us also not forget those who lived through those times, lived through that torment upon their return, and those who lost themselves for our country and ended their own lives too soon. Please rise for the act of remembrance. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Please be seated.
Pray! Stand up! And stand in!
I now invite Reverend Canon Colin Clay, a Korean war veteran, to read sacred scripture from the book of Micah.
I shall now read from a prophet of Israel, Prophet Micah, looking forward to a world where there is peace, where there shall be no more war. In days to come, the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established as highest of the mountains, and shall be raised above hills. People shall stream to it, and many nations come and say, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, and we may walk in his paths. He shall judge between many peoples, and shall arbitrate between strong nations far away. For out of Zion shall go forth instruction, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. A nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. But they should all sit under their own vines and under their own fig trees, and no one shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord of hosts has spoken." Thanks be to God.
I now invite Imam Ilyas Sidiat to lead us in prayer for our country, the nations, and world leaders.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. O Almighty, we pray to you this Remembrance Day to let us strive towards peace, harmony, and reconciliation on the basis of human dignity. O Almighty Allah, let us acknowledge each other in places of worship, place of work, and places of residence. Let us stand against illegal wars, even if it is waged by the most powerful. As Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Have mercy and kindness to the people in this world. The Almighty will show kindness towards you." We ask of you, Almighty, to plant in the heart of every human being the seeds of kindness. We ask of you, O Allah the Almighty, to grant us the grace of resistance and corruption. We ask you to Almighty Allah, let us dedicate ourselves to good ideals and the great people all over the world strove and stood for in wars or otherwise to bring peace, justice, prosperity in the world. Amen.
Now I invite Rabbi Claudio Horakowski to pray for world peace.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imoteinu, God of our fathers and mothers, El Maleh Rachamim Adonai Shalom, God of mercy and peace, let us see the day when war and bloodshed cease, when a great peace will embrace the whole world. The nation will not threaten nation, and the human family will not again know war. For all who live on earth shall realize we have not come into being to hate or to destroy. We have come into being to praise, to labor, and to love. Compassionate God, bless the leaders of all nations with the power of compassion. Fulfill the promise conveyed in Scripture, I will bring peace to the land, and you shall lie down. No one shall terrify you. I will rid the land of vicious beasts, and it shall not be ravaged by war. Let justice and righteousness flow like a mighty stream. Let God's peace fill the earth as waters fill the sea. And let us say, Amen.
I now invite Knowledge Keeper Judy Gray Eyes to lead us in prayer in recognition of the world's suffering.
I ask you to help me in your own way, the way that you were taught to pray. We have been building our spiritual care team to represent the many spiritual beliefs of our Canadian Armed Forces members. Today, we have spiritual leaders who are present with us that we heard praying, and we have people in the stands also doing that same thing, and there's also those in their faith centers right now actively praying towards peace. I now turn the program over to the Citizens Committee, consisting of Legion and Anavet members, as the wreaths will now be laid at the cenotaph.
Ladies and gentlemen, just before we start the wreath laying part of our program, we would ask that all students that will be laying crosses on behalf of their school, would they please join off to the right of the parade floor immediately. Thank you. Our first wreath that will be laid today will be our Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, the Honorable Russ Morasti, and his wife Donna. Our Silver Cross family, Adam Naismith. Captain Kevin Nasty Naismith was killed May 26, 2003 when a CF-18 fighter crashed during exercise Maple Flag. He was a pilot at 416 Tactical Fighter Squadron in Cold Lake, Alberta. He is survived by his wife Belinda and children Adam and his wife Kayla, Arena and Hazley. Laying a wreath on behalf of the Government of Canada, Honourable Brad Redekop, MP, Saskatoon West. Also laying a wreath, Senator David Tkachuk and his wife Sharon. Representing the province of Saskatchewan, the Honourable Ken Sheveldayoff. Laying a wreath on behalf of Veterans Affairs, Annette Jayed. Laying a wreath on behalf of the City of Saskatoon, Mayor Charlie Clark. Reeve Rural Municipality, Corman Park, Judy Harwood. Royal Canadian Legion, Saskatchewan Provincial Command, District Commander Patty Paul. Army, Navy, and Air Force Provincial Command, Dan Cardinal. Saskatoon Branch Number 63, Royal Canadian Legion, Glenn Toomer. Dr. Harold Anderson, Memorial Branch, TVS Number 78, Royal Canadian Legion, Colin Paul. Utana Branch 362, Royal Canadian Legion, Bill Flair. Saskatoon Unit Number 38, Army, Navy, and Air Force Veterans, Jim Eaton. Maple Leaf Unit Number 287, Army, Navy, and Air Force Veterans, Janet Bennett. Ladies Auxiliary, Saskatoon Unit Number 38, Army, Navy, and Air Force Veterans. Belgium Embassy in Ottawa, Paul Van Paul. Consulate of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Tony Testego. HMCS Unicorn, Saskatoon. North Saskatchewan Regiment. RCAF 602 Lynx Wing. The Last Post Fund. Veterans Village and Sherbrooke Community Center. Army Cadet League of Canada. Military Institute of Saskatoon. Military Family Resource Center. RCMP, Saskatoon District. Saskatoon City Police Services, our Chief of Police. Saskatoon Fire Department, our Fire Chief. Rural Municipality of Corman Park, Chief of Police. United Nations Peacekeepers. Royal Regina Rifles Regiment Association. North Saskatchewan Regiment Association. Korean Veterans Association. Ancient Roaring and Raucous Order of Armistitions. RCMP Veterans Association. Canadian Legion of Riders, Saskatoon. Commissionaires, North Saskatchewan Division. Canadian Borders Service Agency. Correctional Services of Canada. Star Ambulance Service. Medivie Health Services West. Saskatoon Search and Rescue. Saskatchewan Air Ambulance. St. John Council for Saskatchewan Incorporated, Canadian Blood Services, also laying wreaths today, Member of Parliament, Saskatoon Grasswood, Honorable Kevin Waugh. Member of Parliament, Saskatoon University, Honorable Corey Tucker. Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, MLA Ryan Miley, Niwasa. MLA David Forbes, Saskatoon Centre. MLA Vicky Mowat, Saskatoon Fairview. MLA Paul Merriman, Sutherland. On behalf of Saskatoon Willow Grove, Wade McBain. MLA Don Morgan, Saskatoon Southeast. MLA David Buckingham, Westview. MLA Gordon Wyatt, Saskatoon Northwest. MLA Erica Lawson, University. In memory of Wyant family grandfathers. In memory of Sergeant Leo Gephardy. In memory of Leo Repchinsky. Sastel Center. University of Saskatchewan Board of Governors on behalf of the academic and administrative units. Saskatchewan Polytechnic, President's Office. Saskatchewan Polytechnic, Faculty Association. Greater Saskatoon Catholic Schools. Greater Saskatoon Chamber of Commerce. Saskatoon Public Schools Board of Education. Riversdale Business Improvement District. Downtown Business Improvement District. Adamaya Muslim Jamai Community. Congregation Agudas Israel. B'nai B'rith for the Holocaust Memorial Committee. Congregation Shir Kadash. Roman Catholic Diocese of Saskatoon. Catholic Women's League of Canada. Salvation Army Timmins. Remembrance Day Committee, Brent Wignes. St. John's Anglican Cathedral. Ukrainian Catholic Brotherhood of Canada, Bishop Roborecki, Branch 304. All Saints Ukrainian Orthodox Church. Ukrainian Orthodox Catholic, or the Cathedral, and the Holy Trinity. Ukrainian Orthodox Cathedral of the Holy Trinity. Ukrainian Self-Reliance Saskatoon Association. Ukrainian Women's Association of Canada. Ola Kobylinski Branch. Canadian Federation of University Women's Saskatoon Branch. Girl Guides Bridging Rivers Area. Grand Lodge of Saskatchewan. Ancient Free and Accepted Masons, District Number 5. Job's Daughters. Saskatoon Knights of Columbus, Chapter. Saskatoon Shrine, Club Number 2, and Masonic Temple Number 1. Order of the Eastern Star, Regal Number 132. Order of the Eastern Star, Chapter Number 4. Kinsman Club of Saskatoon. Lung Association of Saskatchewan. Netherlands, Canada Society. Saskatoon K40 Club. Saskatoon Lions Clubs. Rotary Club of Saskatoon-Netana. Riverside Optimist Club. Hub City Optimist Club. Saskatoon Optimist Club. Saskatoon Kiwanis Clubs. Saskatoon Elks Lodge Number 12. Saskatoon Royal Purple Number 46. Saskatoon 722 Breakfast Club. Sons of Norway. Spinal Cord Injury, Saskatchewan. War Amps Operation Legacy. Wreaths also being laid today from the Saskatoon City Police Association. Saskatoon Fire Department Local Number 80. Saskatoon Paramedic Association Local 3270. Union of Canada Correctional Officers. National Association of Federal Retirees Saskatoon Branch. Amalgamated Transit Union, Local Number 615. Canadian Union of Postal Workers, Number 824. Carpenters Union, Local 1985. CUPE, Number 8443. CUPE, Number 59. CUPE number 1975. CUPE Saskatchewan. CUPE number 3761 Sun. International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 529. International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers number 319. Millwrights Local 1021. Public Service Alliance of Canada. SGEU Local 1102. International Union of Operating Engineers 870. Prairie Arctic Region Council. SEIU West. Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Superannuated Teachers of Saskatchewan Saskatoon Chapter. Teamsters Canadian Rail Conference Division 793. United Steelworkers Local 7552. United Steelworkers Local 7689. Acadia McCaig Funeral Home. Hillcrest Funeral Home. Hillcrest Memorial Gardens. Morning Glory Funeral Services. Park Funeral Chapel. Saskatoon Funeral Home. Preston Park 1 Retirement Residence. Professional Institute of Public Service of Canada. Saskatchewan Medical Association. Saskatoon Engineering Society, North Saskatoon Business Association, St. Paul's Hospital, Western Development Museum, U of S Students Union, U of S Agricultural Students Association, Darrell Cooper. In memory of Bombardier Basil Stoddard, Canadian War Brides, U of S Alumni Association, U of S Retirees Association, Expert Hearing and Wall Street Audiology, Market Mall, Saskatoon Airport Authority. Our cadets laying wreaths, number 328 Medical Cadet Corps, 702 Air Cadet Squadron, 107 Spitfire Squadron Air Cadets. (2293) North Saskatchewan Army Cadet Corps. (3071) North Saskatchewan Army Cadet Corps. Jarvis Bay Sea Cadets. Navy League Cadet Corps, H.M. Weir. Crosses are now being laid by representative of our school students of Saskatoon. The committee and veterans would like to show their appreciation for our school systems as they distributed poppies and also held services this past week in honor of our veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the next generation of young Canadians.
And now we have a moment of reflection as we listen to the Saskatoon Chamber Singers, who will lead us in a choral performance in Flanders Field.
Please draw your attention to our screens.
The Saskatoon Chamber Singers with an amazing version of In Flanders Fields. We take you back to the podium now with Padre Nancy Buttinger.
Now the Salvation Army Band leads us in our hymn, our final hymn, so please stand for O God, our help in ages past. Viktor Frankl, psychologist and World War II prisoner. He was held in the concentration camps. He said, "Our greatest freedom is the freedom to choose our attitude." As we prepare to leave this service of remembrance, marked in prayer, reflection, and reverence, let us go with open hearts, turn towards peace and turn towards harmony, and find ways to extend this love out to our neighbors, today, tomorrow, and always. Please remain standing for God Save the Queen.
Pray! Okay! Go!
Padre Buttinger is now turning the parade over to the parade commander, once again, Commander Greger, for the march past.
Padre Buttinger is now turning the parade over to parade commander, Commander Greger, for the march past.
Parade! Vice Eagle salute! Present!
Once again, the theme for this year's Remembrance Day service, the past, present, and the future.
Parade! Color! Out!
Receiving the compliments are His Honor, the Honorable Russ Morasti, Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan.
Old guard will march past in column of route. Flag party leading. Remainder standing fast. Old guard, move to the right in column of route. Right! Out!
Also receiving compliments representing yesterday, Ruth Bond Martinson, veteran of the Women's Royal Canadian Naval Service. Representing today, Lieutenant Navy Doug Fraser, HMCS Unicorn. And representing the future, Cadet Chief Petty Officer 2nd Class David Huang, Sea Cadet number 45, Royal Canadian Sea Cadet Corps.
Old guard, by the right. With march.
And once again, you can expect raucous applause from the crowd as the old guard
Ladies and gentlemen,
will march
the
past.
North Saskatchewan Regiment Pipes and Drums. Lead off the Old Guard. Led by the Veteran Flag Party. The veterans who have served our country. Afghanistan veterans, Korean veterans, and the RCMP Old Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, once again for the Old Guard.
Parade attention! Parade will march past in column route. Tri-service band leading. Move to the right in column route. Right! Turn! Parade will march past in column route. In succession by unit. Quick! March!
The command has been given. Saskatoon Tri-Services Cadet Band will lead off the new guard. HMCS Unicorn. The North Saskatchewan Regiment.
And the thousands here
38
at the
Service
facility
Battalion
in
and 16
Saskatoon
Field
are
Ambulance.
just as raucous in their applause for the new guard as they had been for the old guard. Very heartwarming moment.
Members of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Federal Correctional Services. Provincial Correctional Services. Saskatoon City Police Services. Saskatoon Fire Department. Medicine Health Services West. .45 Jarvis Bay Royal Canadian Sea Cadet Corps. 328 Royal Canadian Army Cadet Corps. 2293 North Saskatchewan Regiment Army Cadet Corps. 3071 North Saskatchewan Regiment Army Cadet Corps. 107 Spitfire Royal Canadian Air Cadets. .702 Lynx Royal Canadian Air Cadet Corps and Squadron. H.M. Weir Navy League. Saskatoon and District Freemasons. Saskatoon Shriners and Knights of Columbus. We'd also like to mention that members of Scouts Canada are up against the west wall, and we appreciate their participation today as well. Ladies and gentlemen, following
So as we recognize
our march past
the
today,
theme this year,
the North Saskatchewan
of
Regiment
yesterday,
Pipes and Drums
today,
will
and
present a
tomorrow,
concert of music in
every
the center
single
of the
year,
floor.
of course, there are
On behalf of
dignitaries
David
who
Curtin,
take the
from
honors
Shaw,
of
I'm
the
Steve Shannon.
crowd and of the
We hope
military.
you're
And they include, of course, Lieutenant Governor Russ Morasti this year. But representing yesterday was Mrs. Ruth Maud Martinson, a veteran of the Women's Royal Service, and for more than 35 years actively involved in the Maple Leaf Unit, the only female veterans group in Canada. And then representing today, Lieutenant Douglas Fraser of the Navy, HMCS Unicorn. And representing
Ladies and
tomorrow,
gentlemen, our Cenotaph Guard.
representing the Sea Cadets, 45 Royal Canadian Sea
the
Cadet
Navy,
Corps,
Army,
Chief Petty
Air
Officer,
Force,
2nd
and
Class
Royal
David
Canadian
Wang.
Mounted
They were all
Police.
on the days taking the compliments as the military members and the service organizations marched past. Our Cenotaph Guard now marching off the parade square. There was initially this morning going to be a flyover following this event outside, but that's had to be canceled. We just got notice that the flyby of 1942 Tiger Moth,
Once again, we'd
it's
like
too
to thank
cold
His Honor,
out
the Honourable
to get
Russ
that
Morasti,
old
Lieutenant
plane up in
Governor
the
of
air,
Saskatchewan.
and so
Ruth
they are going to
Ball,
have to cancel the flyover
Lieutenant
for
Doug
this
Fraser,
year. But the North
HNCS
Saskatchewan
Unicorn,
Regiment
and
will
Cadet
obviously
Chief Petty Officer,
be
Second
entertaining
Class David
so many
Wong
of these people
for
inside
receiving
the
the
facility
compliments today.
as they
Thank
present
you
their
very much,
concert
ladies and gentlemen,
following
for
this
attending the
88th
largest indoor
anniversary
service
of
in
Saskatoon's
Canada, here
Remembrance
in
Day
Saskatoon.
service. I'm David Curtin. I hope you enjoyed the service and were moved to remember and to honor our veterans. If you only joined us later on in the service, we are repeating this program at 4 p.m. this afternoon and 8 p.m. tonight on Shaw Spotlight, Channel 10 or Channel 105. And we thank you for joining us for the 88th annual Saskatoon Remembrance Day service.